Belinda the Beetle. Chapter 8. Lots of argument. It was all over at last, and the vicar brought Belinda home to Alstead Vicarage. Mummy was on the watch, and helped him put her away. "I know you're tired, dear," she said, "but I did promise the children that you'd come and see them when you came in. They're so anxious about our Belinda Beetle, and I'm dying to know what happened too." Daddy looked longingly at his supper. "I know what we'll do," said Mummy. "We'll put it on a tray, and you can eat it in Susan's room while you tell us all about it." Daddy gave Mummy a hug. "What a splendid mummy you are," he said. Susan sat up when her parents entered. John came in his dressing gown and perched on the foot of the bed, and Mummy sat between them to discourage arguments, but she needn't have bothered, because the children was too interested in what Daddy told them about Snoop and Brown trying to find the jewels in Belinda. "I expect," said John, that was the man I saw was trying to find." "I think so too," answered Daddy. "Did they find the jewels?" asked Susan. "Did you see them, Daddy?" "No, Susan, I didn't. Snoop said over and over again that he didn't find them, and I think he's telling the truth. But Brown is quite sure that Snoop did take them. He thinks Snoop hid them in the bushes when he saw us coming." Daddy took a deep drink from the cup on his tray. Storytelling was certainly thirsty work. "The police pulled Belinda to pieces again at the station," he continued, "and looked everywhere they could think of, but they didn't find the jewels. Belinda was very cross about it." "Poor Belinda," said Mummy. The children bounced excitedly. "Oh, Daddy, may we look tomorrow? What fun if we could find the jewels. Please, Daddy." "You can look if you like," said Daddy, "but—" "Here, I say, steady on!" For both children jumped off the bed and gave him a simultaneous hug, to the great danger of the plates and dishes on his supper tray. Presently order was restored, and both children were back on the bed. "You'll have to be good children, mind, and not get in my way, because I shall have to work hard to get Belinda into shape again." "We'll be good, Daddy. Really we will." And the children looked too angelic for words, sitting together on the bed. "What fun it'll be," said Susan, "if we find the jewels." "And now," said Daddy, finishing his last mouthful and draining his cup, "it's time for you. You're both in bed and asleep." John got up obediently. "I should think," he said solemnly, "that the jewels are in a special secret place. Good night, Daddy." He kissed him. "I'm going to think of secret special places all night." "Good night, John. I'll come and tuck you up in a minute. And as for you, young woman, bed's the place for you too." And he picked Susan up and tucked her in. Susan's arms wriggled out of the sheets and went round Daddy's neck. "Good night," she whispered. "Thank you for bringing our Beetle back safe." Next moment, she was fast asleep. Belinda woke up in the vicarage stable, feeling cross. It was dark, and she couldn't see properly in the dim light coming under the door. "It's really too bad," she grumbled. "Mr. Exel promised to come first thing in the morning, and here I am waiting hours and hours and he hasn't come yet. Snoop was bad enough," she went on, "but Mr. Exel did make me comfy after him. And then all those policemen pulled me to pieces again. It isn't right. Looking for jewels indeed. They didn't find them neither," she chuckled. "Nor no one will, unless I let 'em. They're my jewels. They were given to me, and they're mine." She heard a scuffling outside the door. "I can't reach it, Susan, you try." There were some bumping sounds as if someone was jumping to reach the latch, but nothing happened. "I know," said Susan's voice. "There's a box over there, John. You get it, and we'll stand on it." John went off, and Susan called through the door. "Hello, Belinda. Are you there? We wanted to come and see you before, but Mummy wouldn't let us come and see you till we'd done our jobs. Have you been lonely? Daddy's coming when he's finished his letters. John's getting a box so we can open the door. Hurry up, John. You've been ages. Now I'll get up and open it." "No, Susan, it's my box. I'll open the door." "I'm taller than you. I can reach." "It's my box, Susan. I fetched it. I bagged first try." "I bagged first try while you were gone." "That's not fair, Susan. You can't bag things when I'm not there. You know you can't." "Yes, I can." "No, you can't." "Anyway," said John, "it's my box. I fetched it. If you don't let me have first try, I'll take it away and you have to fetch your own. So there. Then I'll stand on my box while you're fetching yours." Susan, outmanoeuvred for once, had to give in, and the box was in position, with much panting and scuffling. "Anyway," said Susan, determined to have the last word, "bet you can't reach it." "I can," said John, and jumped up and down. "There," he said in triumph as the latch clicked. The door opened a little way, and they both had to pull hard to open it wide enough to get inside. "Hello, Belinda. We've come to see you." "Hello," said Belinda. "Belinda, we've come to find the jewels." "What?" said Belinda indignantly. "Another of them. Can't you leave a car in peace? First Snoop, then there's policemen, now you. Go away. They're my jewels. They were given to me." "Oh, Belinda, have you really truly got some jewels?" asked Susan. "How do you know you've got jewels? Have you seen them?" "No," said Belinda grumpily. "I haven't." "How do you know then?" "Course I know, silly. When a car feels something funny, where she oughtn't to feel something funny, and when people can't leave her alone and keep poking her about in a way that no one ought to poke a respectable car about in, then that car knows that the something funny that she feels where she oughtn't to feel something funny is the jewels that they keep poking her about for." The children were quiet for a moment while they digested this piece of logic. "Oh, Belinda, where do you feel funny where you oughtn't to feel funny?" "Ah," said Belinda, "that would be telling, that would." "Oh, Belinda, we do love you so much. You're such a nice little beetle car. Belinda, please tell us." "No," said Belinda, "they're my jewels. They were given to me when I had my accident, and nobody's going to have them, only me. They're mine." "Won't you let us peep at them, Belinda? We won't poke you, Belinda. Really we won't." "No." "Oh dear," said Susan. "Belinda's cross." "Of course I'm cross. You'd be cross too if you'd been poked about like I've been poked about, by people looking for my jewels." Susan was almost crying with disappointment. "Belinda's all cross and horrid," she said. "Let's go away and leave her, John." "Come on," said John, and they went out of the door. "Here, I say," called Belinda. "Aren't you going to make me nice and tidy and comfy?" "No," said Susan. "You're cross, and we think you're horrid." "Come back," said Belinda. "I'm not cross, really." "I'll let you peep at my jewels if you make me feel comfy again. I want to be swept out and polished," she went on. "When you've swept down and polished me, then you can peep at my jewels." "Do you really truly promise?" asked Susan. "Really truly promise," said Belinda. "Oh, thank you, Belinda." And the children ran to fetch a dustbin and brush and some rags. "No poking, mind," said Belinda when they got back. "No, Belinda, we won't." But all the same, they took things out and looked underneath. "You're poking," Belinda would say from time to time. "No, Belinda, we're not poking, we're sweeping. We have to lift things out to sweep the dust and make you feel comfy." "All right," said Belinda grudgingly. You've swept enough now. I feel all scratchy and sneezy. Now polish me. You'll let us peep at the jewels, won't you, Belinda? Time enough when you've polished me, grunted Belinda. Look sharp now. I want to be polished nice and shiny. But how do we polish you? How do you polish, Belinda? Said a voice coming down the path. Get a bucket of water, then one of you wipes the dirt off with a wet rag, and the other rubs the clean bits with a dry rag. Oh, Daddy, said the children. Belinda's got the jewels, but she won't let us see them till we've swept and polished her. We swept? Now we're going to polish. Splendid, said Daddy. Run along and get the water. Tell me, Belinda, he said, have you really got some jewels? Yes, Mr. Exel. Where are they? Belinda said nothing. She went a little redder than usual and swayed gently from side to side. Never mind, Belinda, I understand. You don't want to tell me so that the children can find them themselves. Is that it? Yes, Mr. Exel. All right, Belinda. Hello, here they come. We better have you outside so they can see what they're doing. The children appeared, staggering along with a bucket slopping between them. They reached the stable yard just as Belinda, pushed by Daddy, rolled out into the sunshine. They dumped the bucket by Belinda and started arguing as to who should use the wet rag. Susan claimed it because she was the elder. I bags the wet rag, said John. I fetched the bucket. Who had to pump and pump to fill it? Countered Susan. That will do, said Daddy, laughing. I never knew such a pair as you for arguing. Let's have a look at you. John, you're the wetter. You better have the wet rag first. And then, if you start at Belinda's front, you can change over when you get to her back. Off you go.